Jim Kelman, certified UEFA coach, and we are talking about the Football Coaches Workshop. Good morning, Mr. Kelman.
Good morning, Verna.
All right, so how are you this morning? How are you doing?
Yes, yeah, fine, thank you very much.
All right, now tell us a little bit about this workshop. When is the workshop and what's on the agenda?
The workshop's as soon as I finish here, Peter Granville and myself will travel across and deliver a workshop. And the workshop is about the technical areas of coaching and the principles of coaching and the principles of play.
All right, and who are some of the facilitators at this particular workshop?
Well, we'll be looking at the Tobago Football Association. They're sending their coaches, and we will be delivering a day of fun, learning, and also highly technical information.
All right, and so it's geared at training and development. Is it the first time that you're having something like this?
No, I do this for a living. I travel across England and visit many sites and look at the provision for young people to ensure they've got a good learning environment and they have a really good introduction to sport.
And is it the first time having a workshop in Tobago specifically?
I worked yesterday on a multi-sport activity day. I work with the Tobagan coaches that are going into the schools to ensure that the children have a good base to learn and also go on to other sports.
Now, I'm sure you would have done some measure of research before you landed Tobago to actually, understand what is required, where they are at. Based on that research, based on the interaction you would have had yesterday, what can you say about the skill set and even potential of our players?
I don't think that we as people challenge youngsters enough. I think that they should be given the how of to play sport. Not just football, but also all the other parts that make up the football index of Tobago. We would like to think that the coaches are going there and the children afterwards have a good understanding of the basis of sport: agility, balance, coordination, movement and decision making.
All right, can you go into a little more detail about certain aspects of the training that you will be providing? I know you said the technical aspect is definitely an area of focus.
Yes, certainly. We would like to think that youngsters should be shown how to play games. And if it's in football, then it will be how to turn with the ball, move with the ball, dribble with the ball, shoot, pass, head the ball, and all these little requisites will start looking to make them a better player. If the confidence they have grows, then they will be able to progress, and we should chart that development and look to bring the best players into development centres and centres of excellence.
Now, what are some of the challenges that you've identified based on your travel experience and your interaction with workers globally? What are some of those challenges facing young players?
This year's been a very busy year. 2017. 2017 saw me in India in January. In March, May time, I was in China. And then later in the year, I was in Ghana in Africa. And the enthusiasm shown by all the children is amazing. They love the game, especially football, because it is very global. And all they need is the tools to enjoy their sport just that little bit better.
Is that element of discipline is something that you've noticed has been missing? Is it a missing element?
Yes. We assume that if we give a child a cricket bat, a football, or a tennis racket, they can go out and just play. That's okay, and they'll play to a certain level. But if they're shown how, exactly how, with the technical detail, they'll grow in confidence and they will become better players. And that's our mission, really, to establish centres to enable young people to get better, to improve their performance as players and then, as they grow older, be selected into academies, centres of excellence, and also go on to national status if that's the way it goes.
Now, so we spoke a little bit about discipline. What about your ability to achieve balance as a young individual, putting in that extra time at the gym, training, having balanced diets, even for the young ones who are in school? How do you encourage them to work towards achieving balance, and how difficult is it really to achieve?
I worked for many, many years in England, and I had, at the time, with my company, I worked in about 60 schools, colleges, and universities. And we had a network of coaches working with those schools, and we would go in and give young children from the age of 5 all the way through to 19 pathways and progress routes so that they could, if they excelled, go on to achieve far higher status than ever they would if we hadn't been with them.
Now, I'm sure you would have identified and diagnosed certain challenges facing our players here in Tobago specifically. How do you plan to address? What are these problems, and how do you plan to address them? And do you think that this one workshop, is sufficient, or will you be here again?
We would like to think that a network of sites are going to be used, and I've visited on my stay here nearly all of the sites that the Tobago House of Assembly has offered young people and older people to attend and play their sport. The centres are excellent, some of them breathtaking, and I would love to take courses there, and obviously that would be with the help of the House of Assembly, with my long-term friend Peter Granville assisting me in that quest. It would be then to work closely with the Tobago FA to see what their hopes and aspirations are, and then take it from there.
Sounds great. Now, based on the feedback you've gotten over the years, how effective are these workshops?
If you want me to go on a bit, I can.
Sure.
I started a school system in West Berkshire. That was a 70,000 population. Before then, they had no players that rose to the highest level in football. That program lasted for probably 8 years. And from that program came Theo Walcott, Charlie Austin, and another lad who I forget.
That's fine.
Simon Cox. Yeah, all of them have played at the highest level. 2 of them play in the Premiership. So that's as high as that sleepy little backwater of England has produced top quality players.
Sounds great. Now, what do you hope to achieve at the end of this particular workshop?
I would like to sit down with the authorities and speak to the people that matter, the people who can move and shake and get things moving. Enthusiasm runs high on the island. It's the coaches I was with yesterday, are really enthusiastic, superb people, and good for the island.
Now, in terms of your observation, we've identified some of the challenges. What are some of the strengths in terms of the skill set? What can you highlight? What stood out to you immediately?
Yesterday was the open and inquiring minds of the coaches. I worked with people in England that are sport specific, and I did yesterday because in the amongst of all the coaches, we were represented by cricket, netball, field and track, or track and field even, and netball, volleyball, basketball. So we had quite a strong influence from other sports, and then breaking that knowledge down into multi-sport activities, and there you get your agility, balance and coordination.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit more about the workshop in terms of how long is it, how long does it run, and also if there is a cost attached, and where will this workshop be held?
Well, from these taster sessions, we would like to put into place level 1, level 2, and level 3 over the next 5 years. I spent time in Trinidad and Tobago about 12 years ago, and I was in front of the people in charge then, and I said to them that they must put into place a longevity program that will give the people in Trinidad and Tobago a base on which to build. And this means developing the coaches. They are the teachers, they are the tutors, and they are the people who will mentor and look at the strengths of the squads on different sports. But I was concentrating strongly on football at the time.
All right.
And
Sure.
it would be wonderful to put in place centres of excellence and places where young people can go to improve their sport.
Your closing comments, Mr. Kelman.
Well, I will have another great day today working with some like-minded people, and it's been a pleasure to be part of your interview.
It's actually great having you, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago.